Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for stopping by, for all the new subscribers and your likes and comments. Really appreciated. It's starting to feel like I'm growing this tiny little community, and I'm pretty excited about that. So it's been a while since I did this cover. I couldn't figure out where to go with it, and so it just sat there. And then I got doing digitals, and yeah, that's a different story. But I realized today that this bird is part of what's bugging me. I like the bird, but it really limits what I can do on the cover. Like, it feels like it's done as is. And I could leave it like that, but I don't tend to do that. I want to add lace and other things. So, poor birdie, I am going to cover him. I'm going to do the same thing that I did before with my Gorilla Glue and water mix. And just add it to the back of this paper and then glue it probably about like this. I want it to come down right to the top of the flowers. I don't want it to cover these bluebells. I may with elements that go on. Like, I'm sort of thinking like the pocket, or from the Truly Blue kit, only partly cut that out. Perhaps one of the mason jars. But I don't know yet, and I need to fix what I've got here first. And then once I glue this on, I have some freebies for you on Ko-fi. They were supposed to be Friday freebies. I was going to do this yesterday, but then I realized my shower was leaking, and so I went and I got caulking and ran errands after work yesterday, and by the time I got home, it was like, I'm just gonna watch YouTube for a while, which I haven't done for a very long time. So I hope everybody is doing really well and enjoying this kit and crafting and yeah, all of that. So this glue just kind of goes on. Try to make it cover as much as you can of the paper you're using. It's really important that it gets even as much as possible. And I'm not covering the full amount because I only need to cover down here like so. And I probably did need to put a bit more glue at the top of this. Perhaps not, because I think I got it on the book. So again, like before, I want to burnish in the spine of the book so this will properly fold. And I completely ripped it. Note to self, take your time. Otherwise, I will do like I did and rip it. Rip it good. And hopefully that doesn't get me in trouble for saying that. Like that. I said rip. Not anything else. It wasn't anything else. Okay, I have a dry... Oh, sorry for that noise. a dry baby wipe, so I'm just gonna use that to try to sop up some of that glue, and then try to get this as straight as possible so I don't get air bubbles. It's a little trickier putting this on top of the other one because the other one already was adhered flat. And it would have been better if I had done it earlier while everything was still kind of wet. And I don't know, I might have to come in and add a little bit of glue along here. Okay, so here I am going to leave this large here and here to give me maximum room at the corner, like so. And because this is photo paper, it looks like it's going to crack. So, yeah, that cracked. So I might need to trim that off, which I don't normally do. So what I'm going to do to trim this is you'll notice there's a little triangle. So I'm just going to take this triangle out here, like so. Well, okay. Yeah, I'm just going to take the triangle out. Sorry, I'm probably completely off frame. So the triangle is where I folded that. And that will give me a fairly decent idea of where to take that. That wouldn't make so much noise if I actually put it away. So that can come here. And this is more doable because it already had paper on here. And then I think what I'm going to do as well is, oh no, I don't think I will do it like that. These kind of need to come angled like so in order to have it fit within your spine when you fold it up. So I'm going to adhere that down first. And then the back. I'm kind of putting glue underneath as well. I should have put wax paper on my work surface. I'm going to get glue all over my mat. Oh, I'm noisy today. All right. And then the other thing I noticed with this, and I had weighted this underneath some books when I did this, but the back cover has warped, and I'm hoping that that will rectify when I put the end papers on, which I will do after sewing in the signatures. Like you can see here how it's not like totally flat. There's a bit of a bubble in that. Okay. I kind of like this a bit better too because it gives me more coverage on the edges, and I was feeling like that paper had barely, like just barely covered the edge, so that's a little bit better as far as edge coverage is concerned. And I really like that as well. I do need to come under here with glue. And all over the top and everywhere. One of the nice things about photo paper, if you're using an inkjet, is photo paper has a coating on it, and the coating is meant to make whatever you print from an inkjet permanent. Or more permanent. It's not 100% permanent. It's not permanent the way a laser jet is permanent, but it will give you better adherence with your inks. Oh, I like that. Now that will give me more leeway for what I put on my front, like either something like this or this. This is from the spring kit of Rach and Bella's. And what I did is I cropped, it's from the Fussy Cuts, and there are like 6 fussy cuts on that page. So what I did is I cropped that image out and printed just that, and then reset it for all the images together, so it makes this image bigger than it would be if you printed all the images. If that doesn't make sense, I'll try to do a little, like, I don't know, screenshot or something so I can show you how I do it. And I do it on a Mac, so I'm not sure exactly how it would work on a PC. But your print settings are all going to be like similar, that you should be able to crop out one thing and then resize it and print what you need. I'm just making sure there are no air bubbles. All right, so I'm going to go weight that. Then let's fold some signatures. I have an enormous mass of paper on my floor that needs to be put away, but rather than putting it away to begin with, let's use some of it to make signatures. I think I'm only going to be able to do 2 in that little book because the spine is so narrow. So I probably completely got in your way. Too close to the camera. This is wrapping paper, and it was my grandmother's. So it's like really like discolored, and the patina on it is amazing. But I think that would work really well. First of all, let me show you what pages I'm using from the kit. Stick those on the side of my desk and hope they stay there. Alright, so these are the kit pages I'm using. I'm going to use only the vertical ones, and I've trimmed them down to fit the height of that small little book already. And I printed them double-sided, and I printed them on copy paper because that's what I prefer in a journal, is copy paper. It's a lighter weight. It allows you to put more pages in a journal, and I like the feel of it. But if you prefer photo paper, use photo paper. I just don't like the weight of it. So that's one of the pages, and the other side. These are just, I love these pages so much. You'll notice that that page is the same as that page. And just the way it printed and the way I trimmed it, you can hardly tell because of what trimmed off. Oh no, those aren't. Those are two different pages. My bad. That one. That one. Oh my gosh, look who printed that upside down. Okay, I think that one is... I won't be using that one because I printed it upside down. And then that one. So I'm just going to print or fold all of these in half. Normally, what I do is I use 3 digital pages per signature. So I'm not sure whether or not that will work with this one or not, because I don't know how many pages I'm going to be able to do. If your pages aren't 100% square when you do this, don't worry about it. It's all going to be fine. And I also don't worry too much about what goes where. So for now, I've got 3 and 3 and 2 signatures. And then let's just fold some pages. If they're too wide, you can trim them back after. And I don't necessarily build signatures right to start with. Mostly what I do is I just fold pages and then like just go like that and stuff it inside and then arrange it afterwards how I like. This is mostly to make sure that I have the same number of pages in each. Okay, this is also from my grandmother. The other thing that I'll do is I will fold a page so that it's as wide as a signature, and I'll leave like a floppy bit here, which is wider than my signature. And then later I will do one of two things. I'll either trim this off, or I'll fold it in like so to make like a flap, or I'll add an extension so the flap kind of comes this way and then goes back that way and maybe comes... I never know what I'm doing. I think I may have said that like 6 times already. Oh, I have Christmas cards in that stack. Thought I had put all my Christmas cards away. That would be fun to use, but those are too wide, so I'm not going to use those. And then these are from the lace that I did with the GAC 900, but I don't think I'll use those. Those would be really good for like collaging and that kind of thing. I like to add Amazon packaging paper or other packaging paper. Oh, this is a gel print. All right. I forgot I had a stack of gel print on my floor. I like using Amazon packaging for gel prints. My apologies if you don't like the sound of tearing paper. My gel print is like an 8x10, so these are going to be about the same size. And I'm not measuring to make sure that that is the same size as, like that it's not square. That was what I was trying to say. So I think there's a whole bunch of gel prints in here. That's not very springy. Does that go with that? Let me just... Ooh. Oh, I like that one. These gel prints are... They're on all kinds of different papers, so they're all kinds of different weights. This one is Dollarama sells, sorry, probably didn't hear a word of that. Dollarama sells these rolls of kind of a wrapping paper, complete with a grid on the back. So, you know, I could go like this. And at least make sure one side is even. Maybe even two sides. Could do it two sides even. Ish. Even-ish. Okay, I'm just going to fold that, and then I might take that little bit of brown off later. Okay, so that's 1, 2. So, see if I can try to count. Alright, I would need at least one more if I was going to alternate. So, digital, something not digital, digital, something not digital, digital, something not digital. Okay, that one actually works out. But I don't want that in the center. Again, don't want that one in the center. Alright, so the other thing I want is ledger paper, if I have ledger paper in this stack. Okay, these are all gel prints. Sorry about that noise. More gel prints. Okay, I need some ledger paper. Ledger paper is my kryptonite. Just saying. Funny story. Friend of mine wanted ledger paper, and she went thrifting looking for ledger paper and couldn't find a single thing of ledger paper. So she texted me and she said, do you happen to have any ledger paper? I was like, just a small amount. Would you like some? So I gave her a bunch of ledger paper. So that would have been on like a Tuesday. So she said, do you want to go thrifting? And I said, oh, yeah, let's do that. So we went thrifting on the Saturday, same week. And guess who found a full thing of ledger paper in the size she was looking for? And I said, do you want that one? Because, you know, like, it was only $1. And she's like, oh, no, you keep it. I'm like, okay, yeah, because somebody needed more ledger paper. I didn't give her this one. Didn't even offer it to her. So I was like, yeah. Look at it, comes in a lake. I'm so happy with that one. Then I have like big one. Look at this. Like, this is a little heavier weight. So I might not use it. But cool beans. Might not use that one because I'd have to trim that one back quite a bit. And then I have lots of this kind. I find them all the time. So, if you don't have vintage ledger, which most of us don't, go thrifting. Like, don't feel like you have to go buy vintage ledger. And then if you want it to look more authentic, coffee dye it. And then it loses that look of new, goes from being white to being brown. Then it's automatically vintage. So I think I am going to use one of those. I had that all arranged. I like these like different sizes of pages. It gives some interest to what you're doing. Instead of everything being the same. So you could take and fold your pages at an angle. You can put them, use smaller pages, use larger pages. Oh, smaller pages. That gives me an idea. These are a little warped. That looks like they got wet, which makes them, to me, almost perfect. I use a lot of ledger in my journals. It's one of my favorite things to use. All right. So that's those. And I have another idea. I have this little pad that I got at Dollarama when I first started making junk journals. And it's perforated, so they come out nice and even. Not really. Try to pull the next one out. I did, they came in a set. There were 3 of them. And I did pull this backing off on the one. I might figure out how to turn that into a journal cover, because that is amazing fabric. A little lightweight, so it might need reinforcing. And of course it's not a full cover, so it would need something to make that a full cover. But that is beyond cool. So I will probably, at one point in time, make that into something. These are really narrow. Really narrow. So let's fold that way. All right. So you can see I'm letting that stick out, and I'll do something with that later. Now the thing about this, folding it narrow like this, is how it sticks in your signature. So be careful when you're doing something like this that you put it in such a way that 2 of your binding holes catch this little piece of paper. So on something this tall, I wouldn't do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, because you would get a hole here, a hole here, and a hole here, and you're not going to catch shorter papers. And I also feel like on something tall like this, a 3-hole pamphlet stitch doesn't give you enough grip. Like, it doesn't hold everything together well enough. So I will show you how later on how to do a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. In the meantime, I'm going to let that cover dry, and then we'll come back to it in the next video. But I have some freebies for you on my Ko-fi site. So without further ado, a few freebies. So I did some extra background pages that are a little bit more basic without a lot of the grunge, in case you want something a little like I won't say nicer, but a little less grungy to go with that flapper kit. So and it also, this one shows a little bit more of that Art Deco. And then a really plain one, very, very light. But again, you can see more of that swirly of the Art Deco. One that's quite Art Deco. And then I thought it would be fun to use some of those background pages with the love elements and the hearts and the flowers, just for fun. So 2 of those. And then these could be used as journal cards. Print them smaller and make them into labels. That it's a bit pixelated because this is AI generated. These are all AI images. I did try to clean it up. I would have to go in with a paintbrush, and I'm still kind of learning how to do that. So this image here is a bit pixelated, but these are not too bad. And then, like I said, you could print these really small and make them into like little labels, or use them larger like that for journal cards. Oh, and then that one that's part of the kit. And then some smaller ones that could be definitely used as labels. And then these could be like printed smaller if you wanted, and use them as labels or whatever. These could be journal cards. put in pockets. They would fit in these little pockets that are on your tags. So you could add those inside your tags if you wanted to, or these little pockets that we put last time on our tags. So those would fit inside of there. These at this size are a little bit too wide to go in that pocket, but they would go in this pocket if you trimmed that border off, which would be easy enough to do. And like I said, those are on my Ko-fi site, and I will link below where you can get those. And I will also put a link for the Rach and Bella kit. I'm not sure if it's still on sale, but definitely go check it out because it's amazing. It's got all kinds of pages in it and fussy cuts and elements and stuff like that. And until next time, have a wonderful crafty day. Bye.